The Stranger in the Sand. On a blistering afternoon in the barren heart of the Karen Desert, a solitary traveler named Rihan, a humanitarian aid worker returning from a failed supply mission, noticed faint movements near a cluster of rocks. As he approached, he discovered a heartbreaking sight: 4 children, covered in dust and tears, clutching each other in silence. The eldest, a girl of about 10, stood protectively in front of her siblings, 2 boys and a toddler, all clearly dehydrated, starved, and scared beyond words. They had no names, no documents, and no memory of how they got there, only pieces of a nightmare: gunshots, fire, and running. Shelter of scars. Rihan took them in, despite limited supplies. He brought them to a temporary shelter outside a rural town, where he began the arduous task of nursing them back to health. The eldest girl refused to speak for weeks. The youngest wouldn't stop crying at night. Locals were hesitant, suspicious. But Rihan persisted, fighting bureaucracy, securing food, and most of all, earning the children's trust. Bit by bit, the story came together. Their village had been destroyed in a violent tribal clash. Their parents were among the dead. They had fled on foot, surviving on puddle water and wild berries, wandering for days. Bonds beyond blood. Over the next year, Rihan became more than a caretaker, he became their father figure. He named them Alia, the eldest, Zaid, Sammy, and baby Noor. He enrolled them in a local school, despite opposition from villagers who viewed war orphans as cursed. Alia began to read and paint. Zaid took to fixing broken radios. Sammy, the quiet one, excelled at math. Noor grew into a joyful toddler. But Rihan faced legal battles. He wasn't their relative. The government wanted to place them in orphanages. Desperate, Rihan launched a campaign online, telling their story to the world. Chapter 4. When the world finally listened. The story went viral. Donations poured in. A prominent lawyer took their case pro bono. Alia wrote a letter that touched millions: "He didn't find us. We found a father in him." Eventually, Rihan was granted legal guardianship. He moved with the children to a small city where they could start fresh. But the trauma lingered. Each child coped differently. Rihan himself battled burnout and guilt, haunted by children he couldn't save. The echo lives on. 10 years later, Alia became a social worker, helping displaced children. Zaid opened a repair shop that trains orphan teens. Sammy became a teacher. Noor, now a spirited teenager, dreams of becoming a doctor. As for Rihan, he never stopped working. But every evening, he visits a quiet spot in the desert, the place where it all began. He plants a flower there each year, for every child he couldn't find in time. The desert, once a symbol of death and loss, had bloomed, not with rain, but with resilience.